Imagine this, it is the year 1900. Sponge divers are exploring an ancient Roman shipwreck off the coast of the Greek island of Antikythera. Among the marble statues and pottery, they find something bizarre. A lump of corroded bronze about the size of a shoebox. At first, no one thinks much of it. It sits in a museum for months, another piece of forgotten history. But then, something incredible happens. The lump cracks open, revealing a complex system of interlocking gears and dials, inscribed with tiny Greek letters. This wasn't just a hunk of metal, it was a machine so advanced. Nothing like it would be seen again for over 1,000 years. This is the story of the Antikythera Mechanism, often called the world's first analog computer. For decades, this device baffled scientists. How could an ancient civilization, 2,000 years ago, create something with such mind-boggling precision? Its gears were cut with the accuracy of a 19th century Swiss watchmaker. It was a puzzle that seemed to defy history. What was it for? And more importantly, who on earth could have built it? After years of painstaking research, using cutting-edge X-ray and CT scanning technology, we've finally started to unlock its secrets. The Antikythera Mechanism wasn't a weapon or a simple clock. It was an astronomical calculator of staggering genius. By turning a single knob, the user could track the positions of the Sun, the Moon, and the 5 planets known to the ancient Greeks: Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. It could predict solar and lunar eclipses with startling accuracy, even accounting for the Moon's tricky elliptical orbit. It even had a dial for tracking the 4-year cycle of the ancient Olympic Games. This was a portable cosmos, a mechanical guide to the heavens and the most important events on Earth. So, we know what it did. But the biggest mystery remains: who built it? The shipwreck where it was found dates to around 65 BC. The mechanism itself is even older, estimated to have been constructed between 205 and 100 BC. This was the Hellenistic period, a golden age of Greek science and engineering following the conquests of Alexander the Great. The inscriptions on the device are in Koine Greek, confirming its origin. But the name of the creator is nowhere to be found. It's like finding a modern supercomputer with the manufacturer's name scrubbed off. This leads us to a fascinating historical whodunit. We have a few prime suspects. One popular theory points to the island of Rhodes, a major center of astronomy and mechanics at the time. The great astronomer Hipparchus, often called the father of astronomy, lived and worked on Rhodes during the exact period the mechanism was likely built. He was the first to create a detailed star catalog and discovered the precession of the equinox as a complex wobble in the Earth's axis. The mechanism actually seems to model his theories. Could this be his lost masterpiece? Another clue points to Rhodes. The ship that sank was a large Roman cargo vessel, likely sailing from Greece towards Rome. Rhodes was a major port along this route. There's another compelling candidate, Archimedes of Syracuse. Yes, the Eureka guy. Archimedes was a legendary inventor and mathematician who lived a bit earlier, dying into 12 BC. Ancient writers, like Cicero, described him building 2 incredible mechanical spheres. One was a solid globe of the sky, and the other showed the motions of the sun, moon, and planets. Cicero even says he saw one of them himself, and that it could predict eclipses. Sound familiar? It sounds almost exactly like the Antikythera Mechanism. The timeline is a little tricky. If Archimedes built it, it would have to be one of the earliest prototypes. Some scholars suggest that maybe it wasn't Archimedes himself, but a workshop or school that continued his work in Syracuse. The ship was Roman, and the Romans had sacked Syracuse into 12 BC, looting its treasures. It's plausible this incredible device was part of that loot. being transported to Rome as a trophy for some wealthy general or even Julius Caesar himself. So, was it Hipparchus from Rhodes, the brilliant astronomer? Or was it a legacy of the legendary Archimedes from Syracuse? The debate is fierce. The gear's design has been linked to workshops in Corinth, a colony of Syracuse, adding another layer to the Archimedes theory. On the other hand, the astronomical knowledge embedded in the device aligns so perfectly with Hipparchus's work. Recently, the investigation took another turn. Scientists have been able to read more of the faint inscriptio on the mechanism's fragments. One discovery was the names of months, which were found to be of Corinthian origin. This strengthens the connection to Syracuse, since Syracuse was a colony of Corinth. It has a huge clue that points the finger away from Rhodes and back towards Archimedes or his followers. But here's the most mind-blowing part of the story. The Antikythera Mechanism doesn't just rewrite our understanding of ancient technology, it changes our entire perception of history. For a long time, we pictured the Romans and Greeks as brilliant architects and philosophers, but we assumed their technology was simple. This one device proves that assumption wrong. It shows a level of mechanical engineering and scientific understanding that we thought was lost during the so-called Dark Ages and not rediscovered until the European Renaissance. Over 1400 years later, imagine a continuous line of technological development, from the Antikythera Mechanism to the complex astronomical clocks of medieval Europe, to the analytical engines of Charles Babbage, and finally to the smartphone in your pocket. It seems that this line was broken. The knowledge to create such devices vanished. Why? The fall of Rome, the loss of texts, the destruction of libraries like the one in Alexandria. Somehow, this incredible expertise was wiped from the historical record. The Antikythera Mechanism is a ghost from that lost world, a testament to what could have been. Today, only about a third of the original device has survived, 82 fragments in total. But what we have is enough to paint a picture of a lost world of scientific genius. It's a reminder that history isn't always a straight line of progress. Sometimes knowledge is lost, and worlds of possibility disappear with it. The question of who built the Antikythera Mechanism may never be answered with absolute certainty. Was it Hipparchus, Archimedes, or some other unknown genius whose name is lost to time? Perhaps the identity of the creator isn't the most important part of the story. The true legacy of the Antikythera Mechanism is the window it opens into our past, showing us a civilization far more advanced and complex than we ever dared to imagine. It challenges us to rethink what we know about the ancient world and the heights of human ingenuity. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into one of history's greatest mysteries. What do you think? Was it Archimedes or Hipparchus? Let me know your theory in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey back in time, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more stories that rewrite history. See you next time.